that you're so expert at now. So here we are, starting off feet shoulder width. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, so listen, if I'm going to send out this message, you're used to seeing me from this side, so if that works better for you, send Lucian a message and I'll turn around and do it the way you're used to. But this is facing you, 1, 2, 3, so it's mirror image. You should be going in this direction and in this direction. Okay, some of the ones that work without side to side, we'll be able to just copy, all right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up, reach down, stretch. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Remember, we've got to breathe through the nose. We inhale up and exhale down. Okay, hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center. Next, cross forearms, bend your knees, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and stop. Okay, good. Hands on your waist. Turning, okay. Turn to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1, and stop. Okay, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Rotating down, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go the other way. So the mic wire actually interrupts the motion. So 2 should be a circular movement. Okay, hands up. Pull in, inhale, exhale. Remember, up on your toes, palms up, pull in, elbows out, up on your toes, and down. Again, one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's pull the feet together a little bit, hands on the waist. We're going to spread the feet. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and stop. Okay, we pull the heels together. So I'll turn this way now. So the heels are together, hands on your waist. Okay, let me fix this wire. Okay, ready? Pivot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop. So remember that we work this because we pivot our feet and learn to keep contact with the ground so that we learn to move in directions. You know, one of the problems sometimes we have is changing directions, and we have some problems with the gait and walking. So if you learn to pivot, and like I mentioned, that it's like your steering wheel in a car, you turn and your tires turn. Well, think of your feet as your tires and you're steering in that direction, and it allows you to turn in a direction and not get confused. As long as you pay attention and you're conscious of where you're trying to go, you get to be more agile on your feet. Okay, so this is very important to learn how to shift and pivot. And the side to side is just getting your body comfortable with moving from side to side. You don't have to move 100% of your weight, just a little bit, and you can feel the freeing up of your leg. Just enough. You develop that feeling that you don't have too much weight, and you can actually pivot that foot. So we're looking for this 90-degree position. So 90 degrees, it's 45 on each side. Now we're going to kick the heel out like this, and that actually points 45 degrees. And then we do this. We'll go forward and back, and let's just do it once. So this is the Tai Chi stance. Empty stance, archery stance, or leaning position in your back. 2. If you do this, just this simple drill over and over again, you're going to get so comfortable doing this that it becomes second nature. You can be able to just move and pivot, shift, and turn. So this is, everything that we're doing is a motor skill. So moving back and forth and shifting is developing a format for how we move. And if you can kind of build this into your system, your body will actually start to know how to do this by itself. Now, important thing is get it to happen. So we go through this over and over again, every class, something that we're reviewing. I do it live so you can, get some feedback from me as to, what we're trying to achieve. So this is squaring up the feet. This is what we do all our warm-ups in. Okay. Next we do the shoulder roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is working this area of the body, sort of the shoulder girdle area, learning to move that, to free up some of the tension in the upper back and in the chest. This will help your breathing, and it'll also help you develop some coordination and, work your joints in the upper body, to avoid tension and stiffness. So one of the things that I talk about to avoid stiffness and tension is to move. So if we have a moving disorder, what's the best thing to do? Move. Move is how we train. So training is very specific. Learn to move these areas and it'll move. If you don't move these areas, you'll never be able to move it because it's kind of becomes a dysfunctional thing and your brain kind of just prunes all of that information out and it becomes difficult for you to move your limbs in the way you kind of tell it to do. So what we're doing when we do these kind of things is teaching and telling our body how to create these different movements. You know, movements, anything that we do that requires some kind of task or functionality is really learned and directed from the mind, because the mind, we call it mind intent. If the brain thinks it's supposed to do this, eventually it'll adapt and you'll figure out how to do these things. So next thing we do after the shoulder roll is the press and the arm swing, press and swing. You know, aside from just moving your body, you're producing good circulation, you're moving your joints, trying to develop the most natural movements that we can. You're not using the physical strength that we're so, accustomed to. You're using motions, you're using gravity, you're using alignment of body. All of these things are so important to maintain good structure, integrity, balance, and locomotion. So part of that, what's the leg work that we do is really building the lower body's motor skill and at the same time learning to relax our hips, our knees, and our ankles. Okay? So for fall prevention, by learning to release and relax the tension in the knees will be beneficial, and also moving the hips and ankles that get so stiff will be a tremendous benefit. So this is exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Remember, we breathe through the nose. Because we're consciously controlling the breath and the movement, it becomes something that becomes timed in your body. It's timed in your anatomy. You know that you should move your body by your inhale and exhale. So this is true with this as well as our deep breathing exercise. And stop. Okay, deep breathing exercise is this. And it's done as softly, as gently, and directed as possible. Directing means take it in a direction. It's done slowly, methodically, and sequentially. This is next, circles, elbows, and knees. So this is where we soften our knees. We sink and we rise. We sink. So when you bend, could be a physical thing, but when we release, it's sinking, it's dropping. But we're regulating the speed because gravity is acting on our body. If we release the tension, you start to descend. The limits of that descending or descension is actually regulated by how your ligaments and tendons allowing you to go down. So there's a limit, and you'll stop because you have some proprioceptive reflexes that kind of will tell you to stop within the certain range. Now we're going to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Next, palms down. This is a big circle from the shoulders. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, relax for seconds. Take a couple of deep breaths if you want. You can get a drink of water or something like that. The thing is, anyone that's following that has Parkinson's disease for the first time, it's kind of overwhelming for you to see all these movements. A lot of outside programs actually don't do as much as I do, but I feel that if we're going to build motor skill and we're going to build integration of body, and we have so many components in the body that we're dealing with, we have to work the whole body. We just can't isolate motions. If you isolate your motion, you start to restrict, and you're not going to get the total benefit of, what the Tai Chi paradigm has to offer people with Parkinson's. A motor skill is something that we have to focus and build, different motions and sort of refresh the brain as to what it can do. Brain plasticity, motor skill, all of this stuff is tied together because, the more we learn to move, the more neurons and so forth that is tied to creating these actions will be stimulated. So, humans adapt a lot, so who knows, by doing a lot of these movements that you haven't done before, we're trying to, awaken a lot of the body that hasn't been moving correctly. Okay, now, the next thing is silk reeling. It's the hold the ball position. I'm going to do it like this so that you can follow from behind. We spread the feet. This is hold the ball. Okay, your next position is going to be leaning, and you're like this. Okay, so that's one. That's the back position. Here's the forward position. Okay, in the forward position, we have to get back to the first position, so we turn and bring the hands down to here. Now, once we're here, let's turn toward me or the mirror, and we hold the ball, and we go up again. So a lot of you that have been coming to class have actually improved tremendously on this exercise because it's just really a function of time. The more you do it, the better you get. And believe it or not, your body and your brain starts to figure out what that is. And how do we learn? We learn from mimicking. We learn from the visuals. So it's important to focus and copy the movements. It's done as slowly as I can without, breaking it down into just simple components. But when I do break it down, it becomes 1, 2, forward, 3, 4. Okay? And then 5 actually takes us over to here. Okay, so you look at the body form. 1, 2. See that? That's shoulder and hip. Now the lower hand goes up to 3, and the shoulder hand goes down to 4. Now when we sit back and turn the shoulders, it comes to this position again. So it cycles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So you see that when you cycle through, it becomes one continuous motion, but it's not actually happening simultaneously. It's a cyclic thing. It's moving from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So that's order. The more you practice movements in an orderly fashion and a sequential fashion, it becomes sequences, sort of sequences of events. Every movement is an event. Okay, when I break it down again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we sit back, hands are down, you relax, weight is back, you turn. All this turning and twisting becomes beneficial to your joints. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and the thing is, if I was doing it on a totally physical level, my joints would be ailing because it becomes damaged. So when you're doing exercise, and I call it, age-related type exercise or age-appropriate exercise, as you get older, you shouldn't do exercises that are too strenuous or causes too much inflammation in the body. Our body is designed to move naturally. If you move naturally, the way the ligaments and tendons are designed to move, then you're not going to stress and overwhelm your body. So this is something that, a lot of trainers, when they're younger, don't realize that older people need different exercises. Because I'm your age, I can explain to you that some of the exercise that's too physical, is not really good for you because of the isolation of the movement and because you're only building muscles. Sometimes I joke about it, we're not lifting, or heavy loads. We just have to carry our own weight, and we just have to move. So we don't need excessively strong muscles in order to do those things. And as you get older, if you have to move something that heavy, you have to find someone to do that for you. Okay, so that's silk reeling. Okay, let's get to this position. Shoulder width, cross the forearm. It could be one on each side. So let's bring the side that's out to the front. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Expand and contract. So all you're doing is a horizontal line, and you bring it back to the vertical line. Just open and close. There's a bit of rising and falling in it. Most of the weight is on the back leg, but give yourself some time to discover, what's involved within, the realm of this exercise. You can't pick up every little detail the first time around. Okay, switch. Cross your hands. Expand and contract. Now you have your left leg forward and you have your left hand pointing to the front. So eventually you'll realize that, the body form is this, that it's a weighted back leg and a light front leg. Expand and contract. Expand and contract. Okay, next, feet parallel, shoulder width, preparation. This is the starting movement in the form. Okay, great. I hope everyone at home is following. Hope everyone in our class is following. If you can, send us a note that, or anything that you'd like changed, because, these are done live, and we can adapt, with each class depending on your needs and depending on the information that, I can put across, the streaming video. So this is preparation. Okay. If you look in the background, you have Minor in the back there. He's, just here to support some of the other videos. Okay, so that's preparation. And then the next thing we're going to do is diagonal flying. But this is similar to silk reeling, so I won't spend too much time doing that. You're going to step out and you separate the hands. We'll do it about 4 times. So this is diagonal flying. Think of it as, look at my hands, they're on a diagonal. and then you separate the hands, it follows the same track. So that's diagonal, and it's called diagonal flying or slant diagonally. Next, we're going to do the other side a few times. 1, 2, 3. And then one final one, 4. Okay, next, shoulder width stance. Okay, I'm going to start off showing you the 2 circles that you're going to be tracing. It's in your frontal plane, and you're doing this. 2 circles, okay? Not too big, it's about eye level, comes down straight in the arm, so it's about where your hips are, cross. That's crossing, this is on each side, you see. So when you cross, it looks like this. This is going to be later leopard and tiger springs to mountain. When you keep the circles to the outside, sort of keeping the center of the circle just about outside, a little bit outside the shoulder. Okay, now we're going to do this. That's one side. Drop it down, that's the other side. Okay, so it's, if you did it like a clock, it would be 12 and 6 o'clock, and then it switches. One's going clockwise and one's going counterclockwise, and then if we add the shoulders or twist or actually rotate from the spine, you create what we call the cloud hand movements. You know, most of these drills are focused on upper body patterns, upper body drills to define the space. So upper body means hands, elbows, and shoulders, which includes the torso, but torso methods are a little bit more complicated, but you know, most of the things that we're doing is learning to relax and build some spatial consciousness. Where should your eyes be? Once you've learned the movement, track your movements, track your hands, follow the hands. Not stare at your hands, but gaze in a direction so that you can capture, you know, all that's in front of you. That really gets you focused, keeps your mind intent, focused on the motion. So you develop visualization, you develop that spatial imagery or mental imagery, and you sort of eventually be able to scan yourself as if you're looking at yourself from outside. That's part of what visualization is taking your imagination to a different level, okay? So now we're here. We're going to go to lower hoop. So those of you who haven't learned this, lower hoop is at the waist. Shoulder height is the middle hoop. Upper hoop is in front of the forehead, or you can use your eyebrows just as a guideline. So that's a reference. That's a reference point, palms out. This is carry tiger to the mountain. So you pass through all 3 levels of hoops and you cross. This is crossing hands, elbow down, triangular position. Upper hoop, middle, cross. Lower hoop. This is carry tiger to the mountain. So it's a pattern. It's also something that happens in the form as transitions, but build this off of these exercises by identifying the pathway of the hands. Visualize the pattern, imagine the shape. Okay, now we're going to do the infinity sign. Infinity sign is a figure 8 on its side. So you go out, and then you go in. Turn around, turns the corner, so it's really making a U-turn right about in your center. And if you do this often enough, your consistency and accuracy of movement starts to come into play, and you'll start to be familiar with the movement, and then eventually you'll be able to detect if the movements feel imbalanced. You'll be able to detect if the size and shape of the movement is extreme. And the whole concept is to use your mind, intent, or your will, and not strength. Not strength meaning excessive physical strength. You have to actually use some strength. How much? Actually, you really can't say in say pounds or forces. You just create a motion, and when it feels like it's fluid, that should be the correct motion. But it should not be stiff, and it should not be tense. Okay, next, form the fist. That's your first movement. Here's how you break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, draw back, extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now movements are in space. If it's in space, it's three-dimensional. So because we have our body moving the way it is, the complexity of movement brings in numerous dimensions. So this becomes a multi-dimensional movement. So anyone at home that's following, if you have a spouse or if you have a caretaker, you can follow these exercises as well, and maybe you can support each other when you're doing these exercises at home. Now, next we're going to pull the palms together, center line, triangle, elbows down. Okay, got that? Center line, elbows down, triangle. Okay, what the triangle's shoulders and the tip of your fingers. That forms an ABC position, and there's numerous triangles, but we won't go into the depth of that. We just move the hand on each side, form a circle on each side. Simple exercise like this still has its complexity, but we won't delve into that side of it. We just want to find that center line, switch hands, replace each hand on each side, and work it so that you have a motion we call strum the loop, or vertical elbow, or neutral position. Kind of keep those three terms in your mind and kind of get familiar with the triangle, strumming the lute, elbow down, and neutral position. Now thumbs up. Okay? When you separate the hands, one hand's going to be in front of the other. The one on the top is the dominant side, so that's your right side, right thumbs up, right elbow out. So that's your horizontal elbow, palms together. Okay? Flip the shoulders. Okay, so if you have tension in your arms or your shoulders, it's going to be, somewhat conflicted. At the same time, if you don't have the right motion, you won't get the horizontal and vertical relationship. Okay, let's get back to the right side, neutral. Let's switch it to the left side. Thumbs up on the left, palms together. So the alignment of the hands actually cross each other at 90 degrees approximately. Put your middle finger on your thumb. You have a horizontal elbow and an elbow down, and you flip. So elbow down and elbow up positions is something I use as terminology, taking you through the sequences, because that's how I define where your limbs should be pointing. So the elbow kind of dictates the direction of your movement, okay? Now let's get back to center position. Okay, let's extend it. Now it's a straight arm, shoulder height, fingertips together. It's a triangle, it's long, and you turn to the side and you draw. Okay, now we bring it back to center, and we turn and we draw. Bring it back to center, and we draw. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, couple of more, back to center. Here's your center, go to the side, go to the opposite side, and we can pause. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing, we haven't done this for a little bit. Inhale, exhale, so your shoulders could feel a little bit tired. So the more tension you have in your arms and your shoulders, the more tired it will get. Okay, so we learn to relax and release the tension in the shoulders, and it's actually building some strength. Okay, now we're going to put the left hand on top. I'm going to bring it up to here, turn the elbows out, and this is called fan through the back. The right is on top. You look to your right. The left is on top. And you look to your left. The right is on top. You look to your left. Right is on top. Look to the left. Right is on top. Look to the left. Okay, that's fan through the back. Fan through the back. Fan to the back. Okay, good. Next, we're going to step up to shoulder width stance, or step across the shoulder width. Now we're going to go up and down. So this is lifting the hand or raising the hand. Okay, a couple more, lifting up. One goes up, one goes down. One goes up, one goes down. Okay. Bring it down, hands up, deep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Okay, center. We'll relax for a second. So let's see how much more time we have?
15 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to focus on the linear form, and we can do it a few times, then we'll try to, for the people that are learning the mapped out sequence, we'll do a bit of that, okay? So we're going to start off in the shoulder width stance, okay? First movement is preparation. Okay, so I'm going to run through this as far as we've gotten for the people that have been learning this, then we'll go back and kind of refresh the postures, okay? So this is preparation. Step up on the left side, find your vertical, find your horizontal, and press. Toe out, step up, flip the hands. I do this in the Tai Chi paradigm class as well. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists, open the form, single whip. Hold the ball. Shift, diagonal flying. Shift, step up, press forward, lower the hand, shoulder width, raise the hand. Bend from the waist, stork flaps wings, and relax. So up to this point, it's the first section of the form. As I mentioned before, on the website, calvinshin.com, there's a black banner on top, there's a PDF. If you print out that PDF, you'll have the sequence of the form by names. So at this point, get familiar with the names by looking and see it in black and white, and maybe, in the audio that it's not clear the way it sounds, so by looking at the words, you might be able to identify it better. So we're going to do that again and continue with that, okay? Preparation, left foot forward, step up, press forward, sit back, toe out, step up. Flip the hands, stroke down, grasp the sparrow's tail. That's right side, grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrist, toe out to the corner. This is the position that takes us to single whip. Hold the ball. Don't worry about how fast I'm doing this or you can't follow it quickly enough. It's something I'll review in a second or in a little while once we finish running through this. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Neutral position. Step up on your left side again. Brush knee 4 times. There's 1. Second brush knee. There's 2. And 3. Go to your left. Horizontal left. Turn to the left a bit. Drop your elbow. There's your push on the left side. 1 more time on the right. Twist step, turn to the right. Brush down and push. Sit back. Strum the lute. Lean forward. Step up. Close the door. Form the fists. And punch. Divert. Block. And punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Then we're going to go back to neutral left, turn, slice out, fist under elbow. And then we go back to neutral and round out. Repulse the monkey is straightening the rear foot and then going backwards 3 times. Now this is beyond what you've done in class, but I want you to get familiar with that the vertical and horizontal elbow is a critical starting point. So once you have that somewhat ingrained in your motion and system, then when you see it, you won't have to think about it. And that's hold the ball. So it's another way of holding the ball. Okay, shake it out. So what do we have there? We have this posture, preparation. Okay, we did that in the warm-ups. We'd cycle through it many, many times. What do we have here? Left foot forward, the vertical elbow, horizontal elbow. Okay. We flip the hands and step up to the right side. We switch hands with beginning style, right side. Grasp the sparrow's tail is our next posture. So let's go from the right foot position to the vertical hand position. Horizontal, press forward, separate the hands so the palms are down, go back, inside hand up, and forward. Okay, so to keep it as simple as possible, vertical, press forward, palms down, inside hand up. So your hands kind of look like this, and you push forward, connect it at the wrists, and then you sit back. Okay, so that's grasp the sparrow's tail. To cap it off, we can hook our wrists. I mentioned in the last class, if you follow the last Tai Chi class at 9:30, you'll see some of the details I went here. So hooking your wrists is rolling the 3 fingers to the meaty part of your thumb and hook your wrists. Put your index finger and your thumb together, and you're in this position. It's kind of a hook wrist position. It's not holding a teacup like this, but it could be hold the teacup but fold these in and roll your shoulders. Roll your elbow and wrists. Okay, so that's the angular position for that side. Okay, so from there, if we're in this position and we're in that corner, Okay, we're in the corner, and we spread the feet. Now let's open it up. So both feet point to the corners, and we draw across. That's single whip. Single whip is this in the same direction. Drop your elbows. You see the elbow position, and you turn out. Okay. Hook your wrist. That's single whip. Hold the ball is this. Okay, that's holding the ball. Now when we shift, diagonal flying, we did a few of those. That was something we did. That's shoulder and hip. Stepping up, we're familiar with that from the first section there. It's left and right side, no vertical, horizontal. That's easy enough to do. Lean forward, relax the lower hoop. Step up. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. And relax. So that's up to the first section of the form. Now another thing that I've been doing in the classes, because mobility and walking and the gait is important for us to be familiar with, that when we walk and we start in a position like this where the feet are closer, we have to go forward with the heel and then roll to the toe, and we move like that, okay? And you're shifting and carrying your weight 100% of the time. When we go backwards and we start to roll backwards, it goes toe to heel, toe to heel, toe to heel. And then you have to actually get your weight over the supporting foot before you take that step. So when we do it slowly like this, you begin to develop control. So the ultimate goal for anyone, and if you have trouble walking and keeping your balance, this is one way of practicing. You know, practicing is very specific, specificity of training. Do what helps, you know, the task that you're trying to work on. So that's how we step. And in Tai Chi, we have an exercise. It's usually done in moving step, but I teach this to the people in our class as 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, and we have a clockwise circle and a counterclockwise circle. Okay, so that's done 3 times, but when we do this with the step, we coordinate the hands and legs, and we've been able to do this 1, 2, 3, and then we step back, left, right, left, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 forward, and 3 backwards. If you're copying from behind, it's right, left, right, left, right, left. Forward clockwise, backwards counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, shake it off. So I suggest if that exercise is fairly simple, but it's something that you can do regularly. You can just do them, you know, as many times as you feel comfortable with. You build your coordination. You'll feel much more controlled with your step. It's done slowly and is building quite a bit of integration of body and timing. So constantly building heightened sensitivity and awareness of where your feet are relative to your position. And in doing so, your body becomes more sensitive and aware of everything that you're doing. The rest of that exercise that we did, you know, as we, you know, continue to stream and you continue to do them, you're going to get more familiar with them. But those exercises are all over our streaming video and website that has the exercise. We always start with these exercises, so you know you always be familiar with it. like I said, if you have any questions and you had suggestions of what you want to see on the streaming videos, by all means, send an email or to the chat room, send us that information so that I can customize these videos to your liking or your needs. Because this is virtual classes, it's very hard for me to see you and know what issues you may be having. So, when we're doing it in this format remotely, it's very important that we get feedback. And with the feedback, I'm able to adapt the class to what your needs are. And on that note, the other thing is Tuesday and Thursday, those classes will be streamed live. Saturday, we won't be streaming because it's quite a bit number of hours that we've been here doing the streaming on the weekday. So Saturdays will be, archive classes, so you can watch those any time of the day. You can share those with anybody that you know, anyone with Parkinson's that you have, that you want to inform them. By all means, let everybody know because people are at home. It's something I think is necessary and something that I think the community needs as a resource. So on that note, we're signing off.